how-to video to scrape names and URLs from Facebook. So I will be jumping into that in this video. Keep in mind that Facebook is a bit sticky right now, and we are working to improve Facebook, and it'll get better even after this video. So first thing I'm going to do here is click Add New Automation in the desktop app, and I'm going to use manual recording, just what I prefer, a little bit faster to build automations. So what I want to look for is a Chromium window that opens, and I want to make sure that my tray is open as well. This is where I can see steps are capturing, and I also have the ability to click scrape list. Keep in mind that when I click scrape list, this tray is going to revert back to my primary window. I'm recording on my monitor right now, so just keep that in mind. I'll keep dragging it back and forth here. So step one is go to facebook.com. Oops. Let's type that. Facebook. There we are. And if you notice, I do have a sheet prepared. So I'm going to, in column A, I'm going to put URLs, and column B, I'm putting the names. So I have that prepared as well. And then from here, I'm going to log in. Okay, once I'm logged in, you'll see a pop-up here. Just handle that. It's like you normally would. Click into the website so that you can access clicking features and the elements. So a couple ways of doing this. Okay, so I recorded my login steps. So if you look at my tray, I have, let me drag this back. I have my type username, type password, and my login. Now, from here, what I can do is I could click around and get to the group that I need to get to, and then after the automation, delete those extra clicking steps and add a navigate step to directly go to that group. So that's just an option. I can explain it again later. Now I'm going to use this group here as an example: Airbnb host Chicago. So if I click here, it'll bring me to the group. I want to click members so I can access all the members in the group. Now, if you notice, this group has its own URL. So I want to copy this if I wanted to navigate directly to this URL, and I could do it in a separate browser as well. But I will explain how to use this same automation to scrape multiple groups, but it will be by adding a URL step. All right, so I can see all of the members in this group. Now, pretty confident to scrape the group contributors. I have to click on see all and then load those contacts and scrape the 169. So I'd probably have to build another automation for that. Although I could just use, actually I wouldn't need another automation. I could just use the URL of, because when I click see all, it'll change URL, and I can just add a URL step and navigate directly to see just those members, but use my same scrape steps. So hope that makes sense. Feel free to reply in the comments of this video asking for clarity on some of the things that I'm covering here. But what I do see is a large list of group members. Cool. So here's what I want to do. During this initial recording, I want to capture the steps that I need in my automation. Then I can add steps, change steps, delete steps. I at least want to capture the scrape list steps. So I want to get URLs first, then I want to get names. Now with Facebook, I'm going to click scrape list in the tray. With Facebook, I found it's much easier or much better to get URLs if I highlight this entire box rather than the box just around the first and last name. It's just been easier to grab the list. It doesn't recognize it. So check this out. If I click, what it's asking me to do is click two of the same elements to recognize the list, right? But if I click that second element that's matching, then it doesn't recognize, and I have the ability to click again, meaning those two elements did not work. So playing around with this, I found that if I click this rectangle here, then it does recognize and find the list. Perfect. And then in the tray, I'm going to click confirm. You can't see it because it's on my primary window, but you can see that I have a scrape step. Now, because I want URLs first, After I end the automation, I'm going to convert this step to a URL step. I can do it now or I can do it later. But I found that I always like to change steps after I finish my initial capture and recording of steps. For some reason, it's not bringing up the URL or text option after I scrape list because it's not identifying it off of the site. But I have tested this where I can convert this step to URLs and it does work. So now I want to repeat the scrape step or add another scrape step to get just the text, the first and last name. So what I'm gonna do is click scrape list again and just repeat the process. Recognizes the list, great. Click confirm in the tray. And now I can see that I have a second scrape step, and this is a display bug. It should be showing me column A and column B. Again, Facebook is sticky. We're working to improve it, but it does work with this tutorial that I'm showing you here. I can get the URLs and the names. Cool, and that's all I need off of for capturing steps. So I'm gonna end the recording. I'll name this book scrape URL name. Okay, cool. All right, so just to double check my steps, I have my type step, my clicking, type my password, great. My login step. Now here, I always like to add in a delay, allow it to log in just in case the internet is slow at the moment. Add a small delay to there. Now what I can do is I can, to use the same automation for multiple groups, what I want to do is right after I log in, I want to add a URL step. And that would mean that I can go to any Facebook group, and as long as I go to the group, click members, and I'll even do it for this group here. So I'll copy the URL. I already have steps recorded to go to this group, but if I wanted to use the same automation for multiple groups, what I'll do is just delete these extra clicking steps because I don't need those. Those are specific to that group. And what I'll do is I'll add a URL step to go directly to this group. I'll add a small delay afterward. Just let it load and render. And then it has my scrape steps. So I'm going to convert this first one to URLs. That's what I want first is URLs. Then I want names. And I can even rename this to scrape URLs. And this one is scrape names. Okay, cool. Now, if you notice here on the site, I have to scroll down to load more contacts, right? So what I want to do in the automation is add in a scroll down step. Okay, so what I want it to do first, before it scrapes, I want it to scroll down and load contacts. So what I'll do is, before my scrape steps, after it navigates to the page, I'm going to click the plus sign here, add a custom step, scroll down, and you can predict how many seconds you want it to scroll down to load everybody. But just for time purposes of this video, I'll have it scroll down for 5 seconds. So, cool. So I'm gonna scroll down, then scrape names, scrape URLs and scrape names. Next and last step, I want to send to Google Sheets. So I'm gonna connect my sheet, copy the URL of the sheet that you want to send to, paste that in here, select the worksheet, make sure your headers line up, and it should show my 2 scraping steps, pasting to column A and pasting to column B as well. That's what I want to watch for. Cool, looks good, and let's test this out. So we do have a feature that remembers your login. So if you've recently logged into that website, it's not going to go through the login steps. So you can see it's navigating through my login steps over here. But this way we're not triggering any type of bot detection, or it'll be less frequent that we trigger any type of bot detection if there is any. But on more complex sites, robust sites like social media sites, this is a really big feature. So it's going to navigate through my login steps, and then it'll catch up to my navigate step. So it just got to the navigate step, And I want to pay attention here to the data being pasted. So it should be scrolling down here soon. So there's all the bot doing this. We'll scroll down for 5 seconds. And then scrape the URLs and the names. Cool. So I see it just did that. Looks like I pulled about 43 contacts. Keep in mind, if you want to source more URL numbers or members, names and URLs, just increase the scroll down second count from 5 seconds or higher, whatever it's going to be, so whatever you prefer that matches with the site. So that's it.